Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making some birthday cards, really simple but effective, and they are fun fold cards. So they've got a couple of different folds to them. This one flips up this way and then flips out that way. And it also stands up like that so that that bottom piece forces this top panel out so that you can see the design. That's that one. And this one is like this. And again, that stands up and that props up like so. So they're really fun cards to make, and I decided to make them using Mintay's 6x8 books. I've got this one, the Celebrations book, and I teamed that up with this one, the background lace images or patterns. I used this one because I wanted to have extra papers, because as you'll see in the Celebrations book, I didn't want to use the cutter parts that were on the opposite side. I didn't want to waste those, so that's why I've teamed them up with a second pad. But you could use anything. So these are all lacy images in pastel shades. That's that one. And then this book is fussy cut elements. It's 6x8 and there's 4 of 6 designs repeated. So there's some of my cut apart pieces. So there you can see they're in toned images, and each back has got a pattern paper on it. That's the one that I've used for this one, and I teamed that with the lacy images, and you can fussy cut those all apart. This one I used as a background on here, as you can see there, and this one I used those fussy cuts. So this is what you've got in the pad. So I'm going to show you how to make these cards. So I've got the instructions written out for you. So let's just try and get those all on the sheet. So it's called a Diamond Joyful card. The design's not my own. There are plenty on the internet, but how I've put it together is. So I shall show you how this works. So what you need for the base card is an 8.5 by 5.5 inch piece of card, and you want to score it on the long side at 4.25 to just make a basic fold, half fold, side fold card. And then all you want to do on the front cover is cut a diagonal from the fold line to the end corner, and what you get then is this. So there's my diagonal. I've cut that. I'm going to discard that, use that later, and this is what I've got as my base piece. Then you need the flat part of the card. That is this piece. So all you need for that is a piece which is 3.25 by 8.5 inches, and you want to score on the long side at 4.25 inches, and you end up with this. And that is going to slot in here. I'll show you that when we've got the patterns on, you can see it better. So I've used some mats of paper for this, and you need to stick those on first. So let me get my glue at the ready, which I'm not prepared with. So I've taken a piece of the pink. This is I sacrificed one of the cut parts because I wanted this pink paper, and I've cut it to 4 by 5.25. Sorry, here back 4 by 5.25 inches. So I'm going to pop that on first. Let's get that on. And I'm going to pop that here on the back page, like so. And you've got a little 1/4 inch border there. Let's get that on. Bit of wiggle room with the glue. Now, to create the panels for these diamond areas, you again need a piece that's 4 by 5.25, and you need to cut it diagonally for the front, which is what I've done with this piece. That's it, cut diagonally. And I've got that for this outer piece. Now if you find there, I think that border's a little bit too thin for me, so I'm just going to cut a smidge off this piece and a smidge off here on my guillotine. So let's just get that trimmed up a little bit, because sometimes it just depends where you've cut your diagonal. You might just be a little bit short of space, so I just wanted that extra bit, so that is fine for me. So I'm going to pop mine there. So let's pop some glue on. So just be prepared that you might just need to give a tiny smidge cut off that if your diagonal cut is just slightly over or slightly under. So there we go, let's pop that one on. Now you don't have to decorate this inside, but I've chosen to. So I took a piece of the lacy card and I'm going to pop that on the inside. And again, I feel I've cut that quite slim, so I'm going to trim just off these straight edges. Just trim those on my trimmer. Like so. That should give me a better, which it does, that gives me a bit better border there. So let's pop that one on. And just be mindful when you're putting the card together of the direction of which these diagonal panels go. Especially if you've got pattern paper that is directional. So pop that on there and that is your inside done. Then you need to make this extra panel part here. Now what I've got for this is some white card, which is 2 by 2, you want 2 of them, 3 by 4 inches, 3 by 4 inches, and on one of them you want to stamp the sentiment, which is going to go inside, and the other is going to go on the front. So let's do that. So first of all, I'm going to take my folded piece and I'm going to get it in position. I'm going to do that by putting some glue on, and I would recommend glue for this part because it gives you a little bit more wiggle room. And you just want to place it up near the top in the centre, but you want to look that it actually is not restricted by this diagonal piece. So I've got a little bit more room to come down there, and then you can centre that to how you like it. So there, I'm quite pleased with how much I've got around the side of each one. Looks pretty central, happy with the top. Once you are, give it a good squish down and make sure it folds. There we go. Then next I've got this happy birthday piece here. I'm going to add some glue to the back of this, and this is going to go on the inside just like so. You can decorate that how you like, add some other different sentiment or a verse, or leave it blank, it's up to you. So there we go, that folds over, and at this point, just to get everything in position, I'm just going to give it a good squish down so that it all knows where it's going. Then I've got the blank piece, the plain unstamped piece of white 3 by 4. I'm going to pop some glue on that. There we go. And I'm going to pop that on this front part here. Just going to have a little wiggle with that. There's that one. And that's great. Okay, so now it's decorating. So I have fussy cut some images from the papers. This time I've used the black and pink. And all you really need now is some foam pads, wherever I've popped those. Bear with me a second. They fell on the floor. And I'm just going to layer up some of these images to see what I've got. Also, Mintay have got a large 12 by 12 sheet with all cut apart sentiments. You cut them up yourself, and one of them is It's Your Day. So I'm going to use that as my title there, and that can also give me a bit of a guide so that I'll leave myself enough space on this card to fit everything in. I think I'm going to pop that around there. Have a bit of presence down here. Now you can overlap, just shut my door there because you can hear them outside. I'm going to overlap my little presents here just to make the scene, I think. Now I might have a little bow there, or I might not. have a look. Do I want anything in the background? You can really have a mess around here. Do you want that in? Not particularly. It looks like a witch's hat there. Right, I think I might go with that. Let's just see where my little sentiment goes. Yeah, that'll do. That's what I'm going to go with. Okay, so I'm going to have my first one lying flat, which is this one. Let's pop that one down. Pop that onto there. Want that quite up by the top. Now you don't want anything overlapping on this top edge, otherwise when you fold it out it'll become caught on the back, and you don't want that. Then I'm going to take my large birthday cake and I'm going to pop some foam pads on that one. See if I can get that one like so. Now, did I want that or do I want the balloon? Maybe the balloon might be better. I think the balloon might work better on that. I think I'm going to go with that balloon, and then maybe I can pop that across the balloon. Yeah, I think that's a better setup. So I'm going to go with that, but not stick it down too much. I know that I want that there, and I did have a little present, didn't I? So I'm going to pop that one down here. Pop that there, so I know I want to get that on the top of it. I'm going to pop a little bit of glue on that side. So there we go. Let's peel that one off and just overlap that just to make that a bit more of a scene. This one then I'm going to add on with a bit of glue. Pop that on there. And I'm going to slot that behind our bag, our cake there. There we go. That looks okay. And then I've got my It's Your Day, which I'm going to pop some little foam pads on here. See where I'm at with those. Yeah, I think I quite like that up there. Just these cards work if you just do quite a bit of overlapping. They just look effective with all the die cut pieces. So let's pop that one on. And I trimmed all mine out with a little white border, as you can see there. Now, I've just gone and done what I said not to do, haven't I? I've gone and overlapped that there. So let's forget that idea. And let's pop it a bit further down. There we go. That's better. I can have it coming out of the side, but I can't have it coming out the top. There we go. That's better. I bet you were all shouting into the camera there. Well, you're overlapping it. Well, there we go. That's better. So it doesn't overlap there now. Okay. And then I have got some little bows here that I can either overlay that. I think I might just pop a little bow on there. Just pop that one on. Pop it there. Just gives us a little bit more 3D-ness. And then I've got these pieces left for inside. I'm just going to pop that over, and I think I might just pop this one on there. So let's use this to pop that bit of glue on there. There we go. That'll sit nicely there. And you've still got plenty of room to write. Just bring that in a bit more. And there we go. And then how I'm going to finish that is with a few gems. And I'm just going to pop 2 gems on this top edge here. Maybe a bit further up than that. And 2 gems on this bottom edge, just for a little bit of bling. Now on the other cards I did add some glitter, but I'm just not going to bother on this one because it'll all get gluey by the time I show you. But let me just bring in the other cards. And there you have your 3 versions. This one looks, I mean, if I was putting glitter on this one, I would definitely have put some. Let's put it on now we're finished. After me saying that, I did like a bit of glitter on. Pop a little bit on these bows, a little bit round the side of my balloon, and I think that looks great. Just a touch on there, maybe a few dots in that champagne, and there you go. That looks great to me, and that opens up so that you've got your inside all ready to go. So I hope you like those cards. They're so fun and easy to make, and you can see out of that one pad how many different varieties you can get in different styles and colours, and how easy they are to put together. So if you like that video, it would be great if you could subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and I really look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thanks very much. Bye.